Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. But today, we explore the path of the samurai. Your body is a soft tomb for a rotting spirit that is too terrified to sweat. You call it self-care. You call it preserving your energy. I call it biological treason. You are the physical coward. A fragile, doughy entity wrapped in layers of soft fabrics, sitting in temperature-controlled rooms, actively choosing the path of absolute physical stagnation. Look at yourself in the mirror when no one is watching. Your muscles are evaporating. Your posture is slumping into a defeated curve. And your heart panics at the mere sight of a steep hill. You have negotiated an unholy peace treaty with your own comfort, trading your primal strength for convenience. The paradox of your existence is lethal. By desperately protecting your body from hardship, you are guaranteeing its premature execution. There is a silent, terrifying mystery to your failure, a hidden rot that robs your mind of all authority because it rules over a flesh that cannot execute a single difficult command. You think you are saving your energy for later, but later is just a graveyard where unused potential turns to dust. You are a prisoner held hostage by your own soft skin. The ancient standard of the samurai demanded that the physical body be an absolute, unyielding instrument of the iron will, a weapon forged through repeated physical trauma, deliberate hunger, and hours of training under freezing waterfalls. Modern decay has convinced you that comfort is a human right and that physical exertion should be avoided unless it feels good. You have let your flesh become the master of the house, dictating when you wake, what toxic junk you consume, and when you hide from the cold. You avoid the gym, you run from physical friction, and you treat a single bead of sweat like an insult to your intellect. You have completely forgotten that a mind without a fortified physical temple is just a desperate voice screaming from a collapsing tent. You have allowed your survival instincts to turn you into a well-fed domestic animal. Honda Tadakatsu did not negotiate with his exhaustion or his fear. He was the legendary warrior who surpassed death itself, walking through 57 major battlefields of the Sengoku period without a single blade ever drawing his blood or piercing his skin. In the choking humidity of the Mikitagahara Plains, the air was a thick, suffocating blanket of ash, copper, and mud. Tadakatsu stood at the very front of the vanguard, the immense weight of his black iron armor biting into his raw collarbones, his magnificent deer-horn kabuto helmet cutting a terrifying silhouette against an imperial crimson sky. The heavy scent of wet horsehair and iron blood filled his nostrils. His breath was a rhythmic, calculated growl. His hands, heavily calloused and split from decades of warfare, held the tonbogiri, the legendary dragonfly-cut spear. The sting of toxic sweat rolled into his eyes, burning his vision, but his gaze remained fixed and unmoving on the enemy ranks. Around him, horses screamed in agony, and iron swords clashed against armor plates with a sickening, deafening crack. Tadakatsu did not choose the softest path of strategic retreat when his lines began to shatter. He did not look for a comfortable exit. He commanded his biology with medical precision. When his muscles screamed to collapse from sheer exhaustion, his discipline tightened his grip on his spear until his knuckles turned white. He charged directly into the center of the enemy vanguard, a lone mountain of muscle and iron. His movements were not driven by fleeting motivation or temporary emotional hype. They were executed by a biological machine entirely subjugated to his spirit. He survived 57 hells because his flesh knew it had absolutely no vote in his actions. The mechanics of your failure are rooted in this simple, pathetic truth. You have given your flesh a vote in your destiny. You are the physical coward because you believe that physical pain or discomfort is an error that needs to be avoided at all costs. To a samurai, physical friction is information. It is the hammer that proves you are still standing. You choose the softest path because you are terrified of the absolute silence that occurs when your muscles are burning, your lungs are gasping for air, and your mind is forced to fight its own limitations. You think you are protecting your health, but you are merely decorating your coffin from the inside out. Command the flesh. Look at you right now. Your fingers are twitching, wanting to click away because these words hit too close to your soft bones. You want to find a video that rewards your weakness with comforting, gentle lies. That is your rotting spirit looking for a hiding spot. If you are genuinely content with being a fragile, weak container for a dying soul, then turn this off. Go back to your soft blankets, your processed snacks, and your quiet, pathetic physical decay. But if you have even a single spark of healthy disgust left for what you have allowed yourself to become, stay. Face the iron. Forge the vessel. Physical discipline is not an intellectual exercise or a theory you can analyze in a comfortable chair. It cannot be studied. It must be executed. Honda Tadakatsu did not become a mythic warrior by reading scrolls in a warm room. He built his temple through thousands of hours of brutal, repetitive physical strain under a blazing sun and through freezing winters. He understood that an undisciplined, soft body is a traitor waiting to compromise your spirit in the hour of true crisis. You are currently harboring that exact traitor inside your skin, letting it grow softer and weaker every day you avoid hardship. The path of imperial crimson demands that you violently reclaim your physical sovereignty. Turn your current daily environment into a training ground. Treat every instance of physical hardship, every cold room, and every burning muscle not as a miserable burden, but as a heavy hammer hitting the raw iron of your character. Stop listening to the pathetic complaints of your nervous system. Start listening to the absolute mandates of your spirit. The soft path ends in a quiet, forgotten, and mediocre grave. The hard path is the only road to a true awakening of the mind. Choose the hardship. Kill the cowardice. Become the weapon. Every warrior walks a different path. Samurai, the path of discipline. Ronin, the path of independence. Ninja, the path of strategy. Zen monk, the path of wisdom. Shogun, the path of power. Which one are you? Comment below.